Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to episode 91 of the Casual Weebs podcast. We hope you guys had a happy holiday. It's already here. Like, winter's coming this weekend. Saturday, we are getting, I know, Fate Strings Fake. I'm super excited for that because they dropped episode 1 beginning of this year and then just dipped. They said we're going to get the rest of the season at the end of this year. We did not, and now we're getting it in January. So finally, we are getting it, but we're also getting a ton of amazing animes like JJK, and Hell's Paradise, and Frieren, and so many more. We actually dropped a video talking about what's all coming out in the winter season if you want to check that out. But we also talked about the 2025 season. It was 25 year, not season. It was one hell of a year. It felt like one continuous amazing season though, because like it was
True that.
just banger after banger after banger. We didn't talk about it in like, oh, here's the anime of the year, you know what I mean, like awards kind of thing, but we talked about it like in that kind of like categorization. We talked about movies, premieres, animes that have returned, what are some top animes of the year. It was a lot of fun to talk about. We kind of went over a good summary of 2025. It was a lot of fun. So if you didn't see that video, check that out. It'll be linked at the end of this video. But I'm hyped. I'm hyped for this weekend, and I'm also hyped to talk about the last three finales of the three animes we were talking about in the fall season. One of them I have to make an apology about. It's Tougen Anki. I said last episode that, I was kind of clowning on Mudino a bit. We're talking about how there's that specific type of character in certain animes where, they're the older character that's like OP. All the guys want to be them. They're just so cool, so strong, aura farming for days, and all the women want them because they have that sex appeal to them. You know what I mean? Engine from Gachakita, Gojo from JJK, Yami from Black Clover. The list goes on and on and on. They're a great character, a staple of the anime that they're in, and honestly, they kind of steal the show a lot because they are that great. And I'm like, Tokanenki's got Mudino, right? He kind of fills that role, except he lacks the sex appeal. Right, he's got an umbrella as a weapon, which Engine does too, but Engine makes it look cool. Mudino throws it over his shoulder like he's a fucking vampire, and the sun can't hit him. Like it's a little dorky. He's got like the dorky kind of hairstyle, bro. He's got rollerblades, not like the cool
Roller
ones,
skates,
but
bro.
but like they're not even the cool ones. So the ones with the four wheels and like a rectangle that like kids use when they first learn how to rollerblade. You know what I mean? Like bro's not he's not doing anything. I feel like. But then, of course, I had to bite my words and eat my words. At the end of this season finale, we got an ending cutscene where we see Mudino without long sleeves, and I didn't even realize we've never saw him in short sleeves before. Bro's tatted up, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little wet. Like, I mean, he had sex appeal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yo, Mudino is actually looking dope as fuck. Like, he looks sick. His tattoos are fucking awesome. I don't know what it is. Like, he really is like a different version of Engine because they both have like the blacked out tattoos, and like they just
Yeah,
look so good. Like, I want one now so bad, but like I hate needles, and that seems like a very painful fucking tattoo. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
completely covering your arm, but it looks sick. And I'm like, all right, I gotta bite my words. Bro's got sex appeal. I'm sorry, Mudino. You're strong as fuck. The guys all want to be you, and they also love you, and then also all women want you. Like, he just wins. My bad, bro. But let's get into Tougen Anki. What a season finale! Like, genuinely, like, really good. Honestly, out of the three, definitely my favorite season finale. I think it ended really strong, and it was honestly it was needed. Again, we talk about it multiple times. It had a bad start to its season, under a lot of controversy, but ended so well. Like, genuinely a great anime for the fall season.
Yeah, the last two episodes did really good. I thought they wrapped it up good, and
Mm-hmm.
you kind of got the scene with not just Mikado and Shiki, which like when he's stressing it so bad, he like can't look him in the eyes, and Shiki is exactly like Mudino said. He's kind of an airhead. He's kind of
Mm-hmm.
a fucking simpleton, but like if you come correct, like he'll forgive you. Takes about 30 seconds. Shiki calls him an idiot, a moron, and then he's like, all right, we're definitely best buddies again.
Yeah.
Even though you tried to fucking kill me and all this shit, but it was cool that they got to do it in front of like the whole group too. It wasn't just like a one-on-one like with Shiki. I think the other guys kind of appreciate it too. And I thought it was cool the line we got with Mudino too, where he tells Mikado after he's kind of been beaten,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "We're not trying to like wipe out the Momo. We're
Yeah.
not some like." Super genocidal, like freak war faction. He's like, we're just trying to like earn a seat at the table. So it's not all of you guys, but we got to be strong so we can get that seat at the table. I think Mikado kind of was like, oh shit, like as smart as I am, like I've kind of, and he does admit to this, thankfully, which we talked about this before. Like, this guy's a super genius and he gets played by his partner, like on the level of his emotions, like, all right,
Yeah.
bro, like, do better. But he kind of was like, yeah, I got played, like, I'm way too emotional. But it was kind of cool to see him reconcile with that because Mikado, I definitely think, will be back in this series, especially because they didn't kill him. And they've already alluded to maybe not like teamwork, but like transparency between Oni and Momo. Like this episode really showed it. It's not just like we're all trying to kill each other. So
Hmm.
I 100% expect to see Mikado back. And yeah, bro, we get the scene that, Shiki's like praying for his dad and all that. You're like, oh, nice, nice season finale scene.
Hmm.
And they show Mudano and his tattoos, and you're like, oh, damn, he is hot. Like,
Yeah.
he is OP and he is hot too. I thought that was funny because I'd forgotten about that in the manga. But there's a scene with him in the bath, dude. His tattoos are so sick. Like
Oh.
sitting in a sauna or whatever. Like, yeah, I gotta
Oh, oh,
clarify there.
I thought it was like just him taking a bath, and I was like, what the fuck? Like fucking Mina in what episode 1 of Kaiju 8, where you just get the random bath scene. And you're like, dude, wait, what? Where did this come
straight
from?
straight Golden Kamui, like
Yeah.
homoerotic fucking Mudano scene. Nah, he's just chilling in the sauna, but like his tattoos are super, super cool. Also, I agree with you too. Like it kind of started out slow, like it was a little unimpressive in the beginning, but these last two episodes, I think, what was that, 23 and 24, did a good job
Mhm.
of kind of showing you what it's all about, kind of like what the story's all about too, and sets up for like a season two. There's a lot of content, so I'll definitely keep watching. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, I was definitely like, I'm gonna end up dropping this. Like, I'm good. I'm whatever. There's a couple of episodes that really were like, hey, if you don't deliver here, like, I'm out. I'm not gonna finish the season.
Yeah,
Definitely at the end of the season, I'm like, yeah, I'm back for season 2 for sure. Like, absolutely. I think it was great. Like, Mikado realizing that it wasn't Shiki was just like, thank God, like finally, because we talked about like how the season was kind of coming to a close. Like that one fight, it was just Mikado being like, I can't trust you anymore. And like nothing Shiki said did anything, and like he just blamed Shiki, and I was like, dude, like you're so stupid. So the fact that he finally realized, and he even said, he's like, I realized the second he lit up, because like if it really was Shiki, like the whole block would have been gone. Like Shiki's power is insane, like incredible. You know
right.
what I mean? Like he realized it. So it was like finally he realizes he gets played. It really is fun, like amazing that moment they even say where it's like, okay, I guess you can kill me. Like I don't have any energy to fight now. And then Muda knows, like, bro, like we never wanted to fight you guys. We just want peace, but we can't. We don't have any leverage in negotiation if you guys think we're weak and pathetic. So we have to like fuck you up a little bit, and then we have that seat at the table and we can talk, which is awesome because we've known that for what, like how many episodes, like 20 episodes, you know what I mean? That was told to Shiki in the beginning of the season, but the other guys, they don't know that, you know what I mean? So it was finally good that it was being told, because Mikado's going to go back and he's like, hey guys, like they don't actually want to fight us, you know what I mean? Like I feel like he's going to have a little bit more faith and speak on the Oni's behalf, you know what I mean, now moving forward, which will be really nice too. And you can tell too, like, yeah, you're right, when Mikado went to go to apologize to Shiki, it wasn't a 1v, like a one-on-one. Like he did that in front of everybody, kind of showing that like, hey, I don't have any beef against you guys anymore. Like I feel like not only are we gonna see Mikado moving forward, but he's probably gonna be helping them out. You know what I mean? He's probably gonna be a great person that can like be the in between the Oni and the Momotaro. So that's gonna be really cool moving forward as well. But we gotta talk about it. What is up with the grave? Because we brought up, we're like, yes, Mudano, he's got it. You know what I mean? All you need is some tats and you can be good looking. You know what I mean? That's apparently the secret.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how weird you are, bro. You got tats and good tats. Like, you're set, bro. Like, it's all you need.
Yeah.
But it really kind of like took away from the fact that I was like, wait, why was he there in the first place? Like, Shiki's dad was a Momotaro and like a high level one. You know what I mean? Like, he was him. You know what I mean? And why are Oni like respectful friends know about him? You know what I mean? Like it makes sense for Shiki to go and visit his dad's grave, and especially with everything that happened, and that was a big thing at the beginning of the season where like he was like had to grow from that because of course he kind of said some things he didn't want to before his dad died, and he had to deal with that, so that weighed heavily on him. And it's like, why does Mudano know him? Was like there more to the story of like even Shiki's birth per se, because it doesn't make any sense that first of all Momotaro is taking care of an Oni, but the fact that you're taking care of a child of Kishin, you know what I mean, the person who's supposed to like stomp you and your boys because he's so strong, it's like it just didn't make a whole lot of sense, and it kind of makes me think that like maybe he was friends with like Mudano and them, beforehand. And when they're like, "Hey, we have this kid that could be the child of Kishin," like, did they give it to him to take care of? You know what I mean? Did they give Shiki to him to take care of, or like what's going on? Like that's just a huge question I have now. Where like it changed everything. Where I'm like, bro, why do they know him? Why are they visiting his grave? Like, what is? Especially because you follow that with like, oh yeah, by the way, his tattoos, it grows with every comrade he loses, as he's at Shiki's dad's grave. Kind of makes you think that they were boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's also funny because he was like, "Oh yeah, like that." I forget how he says it exactly, but Shiki's like, "Oh, that's like super chill of them to put my dad like in the Oni graveyard." It's like,
Yeah.
now that was like an ultimate sign of disrespect from the Momo. Like, they were like, "Yeah, fuck that guy."
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with you though. I think, especially given how like legendary Mudano is in the story, kind of gave up that frontline combat role to like grow the next generation. I can absolutely see him in the same way that Shiki and Mikado are kind of like friends now. That Mudano would have a friend like Shiki's dad, and like, oh shit, we might have a child of Kishin. Like, I'll raise him and try and like keep him
Keep them safe.
hidden, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. Yeah, safe. But if anything happens, like, you'll have to take care of him moving forward because of his
Yeah.
strength. So it does kind of give you like leaves you with some questions. We haven't explored it in like over 200 some chapters of the manga, but I would really like to know kind of like the context of how they knew each other. Because almost the same way that Makima saves Denji in the beginning of Chainsaw Man, Mudano literally pulls up to save Shiki after he goes berserk.
Hmm.
So like there is kind of that like, I don't know, background knowledge or like connection that we as the reader don't know about. But I would really like to get into that, even though we haven't, like I said, through a lot of the manga chapters.
Yeah, dude, that's something that I wish I could just dive more into. Like Shiki's dad is like one of the topics where it's like, bro, it's so fascinating, so interesting, such a lore bomb. Like you got to get into that. I feel like it's at the point where if there's 200 some chapters and they haven't gotten into it, it's end game stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's the we're coming full circle. We start learning about his dad. It means it's probably the end of the series, so that will suck. But I cannot wait for that moment because like just getting into that stuff, I feel like it's gonna be so fucking cool and fascinating. And honestly, I gotta say, like, again, it was just an amazing end to the season. It definitely leaves you in suspense for the next one. Like I'm ready. Like I want season 2 now. I'm stoked for it. Haven't heard anything about it, but I'm still hyped regardless. The one thing that I am a little nervous about is that speaking of series coming to an end, we were hyped because Black Clover was dropping a new season in 2026, and I said, "Hey, yo, I'm hearing it's actually supposed to be this weekend. It's in winter, like dope." I'm also hearing now the end of the manga is a fucking disaster, which is what I'm hoping Tougen Anki doesn't do because it is a
Yeah,
common thing where these artists and authors they spend literally so many years on these projects and it's just kind of like they get to the point where like yo I just want it to be done, I just want it to be over. Like I love Tokyo Ghoul, that's apparently what happened with that manga as well, where he's like yo I've been thinking about fucking this goddamn manga every goddamn day for like how many years. He's like I'm just done. He's like I just wanted to end it, I just want to move on to something else. And it seems like Black Clover just had the same treatment where the fans are outraged with the ending, and I honestly got spoilers of it, and it is shit. It is a fucking
no.
disappointment. I was so hyped for this new season of Black Clover, and now just getting that news of the manga, I'm like, bro, you gotta be kidding me! Like this is what we're doing. This is real. I'm like, okay, that's is let's end it. Let's end it in shit. But Tougen Anki is another series that has a shitload of chapters, so hopefully it does not get that same treatment because it has that kind of feel. You know what I mean? So it has that kind of like Black Clover feel where it's like an older kind of like shonen that has like a lot of episodes whenever it drops. So hopefully we can have a good ending to the manga.
Yeah, and it's like a very typical shonen thing. Like everybody knows, I've bitched about Jujutsu Kaisen before.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes these villains or like these end game situations are so built up or like over sensationalized, it's hard to like kind of like justifiably bring it to a close.
Yeah.
And like without trying to spoil too much, it's like, all right, this group of 15-year-olds is going to go against this, legendary demon for thousands of years, and those 15-year-olds will definitely kill the final boss. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to like truly write it, and you're exactly right. It's easy to get burnt out. Like I remember in like construction, if I was on a job for like 2 weeks, it'd be like, all right, get me the fuck out of this house. Like these people are working on the same story and you're constantly thinking about it and writing and drawing and storyboarding. And I'm sure you're talking to your editors and stuff. You can totally understand, especially because it's week to week.
Mm-hmm.
Like the hype, I'm sure, is rewarding and like awards and all that, but I'm sure you get burnt the fuck out, especially after whatever, 10 years. And, there's a couple outliers, but I know pretty much the ending of Black Clover. I already had that kind of like feeling. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just hard to wrap the story up and like make it feel super good without like basically shortcoming somewhere. But I'll still be watching. I love Black Clover. I'm hype for the season, but I definitely feel you. That's a very like unfortunately common thing. Hopefully Togen Anki doesn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think with the whole child of Kishin, I think there's a lot of like potential there. So you really could set up for something sick, but we'll have to see how it plays out. And I know season 2 is pretty solid, but Togenaki has a lot of potential to work with.
Yo, for sure. And honestly, when it comes to Black Clover, I'm just here for the drama at this point. Because I know the manga readers were like pissed, but like I watched Black Clover when Crunchy saw the comment section, and I know a lot of the things that the anime onlys fucking hated and they always bitched about. It's like your worst nightmare is gonna come true. So I know when they finally get to that point
Yeah.
in the anime, they're going to be so fucking pissed. And I'm like, yo, I'm low key here for it because like they're gonna start some shit. Like it's kind of like you can see the riot about to happen, and it's just like it's a disaster. But I'm gonna sit back and enjoy the shit show.
Hell yeah. If only we had our Crunchyroll comments back, but yeah, I'm here
Yeah.
for it either way.
But yo, let's get into Wandance, bro. What a fucking psychotic episode. Like dude, I was freaking out when bro just starts ripping out his teeth and ripping his clothes. I'm like, is he okay? Like, what the fuck? I was like, what is going on here?
I thought this was a fucking awesome
It
episode.
was.
Definitely like the best episode of the season. Maybe number two if you have a different favorite,
Mm-hmm.
but this for me was awesome. Very good pick by you. Wandance was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
fun. And this episode was crazy. Yo, and it was like kind of hard to keep the names Cabo and Kabe. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I think we could do this. It's only, one or two letters. Yo, when Kabe like first like pulls up, this is the handshake,
Mm-hmm.
pulls his mask up as a blindfold, and then literally hits that shit. I was like, oh, this motherfucker is nasty.
Yeah.
That first round was disgusting, but it was kind of cool how they like let the MC kind of like do his own thing without like having to do too much. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like some super left field thing. I kind of felt like the dialogue and the story for it was like really consistent and it was really good, especially through the finale, which I appreciated. I only really had one critique, but I'll save that for the end.
Say that for that. Like, I thought it was cool because, like, yeah, you had that, like, aura farming by him where he's like, all right, I'm gonna blindfold, like, and I love it too because, like, there is that, like, I don't know if, like, nuance is, like, the right word for it. There is that, like, extra level to the battles where, like, even what's his face was talking about it where he's like Lori was like yeah like he's saying that like by doing that he's saying a message where it's like your round's not even worth me watching, like you're irrelevant, you're a speck of dust, like you are shit to me, you know what I mean? And it's funny because Wanda doesn't get that at all. Like she even said that at the end where he's like, did you not see him dissing me? And she's like, what? I saw him being respectful and like admiring you. He's like, dude, he was making fun of my height. like Wanda wasn't getting the other level of like shit talking that was also going on in the battle. You know what I mean? Where like the mind games that were being played. But I love how he does that, like blindfolds himself, and then Cabo is just like, yeah, buddy, I don't give a fuck, and ends up putting on this fucking performance. Everyone's cheering. He's like, wait, what? Was he doing something good? It's like, yeah, you should have been watching, asshole. Like you're kind of losing right now. I hate to break it to you, but like, dude, that was sick. That was the whole thing was awesome, and I like Cabo losing. I feel like is like cool, but like what was really nice is that the one professional dancer, that judge voted for him. I'm like, yo, that's sick. That's huge.
Yeah, I really like that because like he doesn't have the experience, so for him to like kind of make it to the finals, I feel like would be a little cheap.
Yeah.
But it was cool that he voted for him, and for the reason he did too. Also, I thought it was funny. Like, Lori walks in there to like the smoking section. He's like, "Bro, I thought you were still in high school." He pulls out like the pocky, and he was like, starts cracking up. Very funny moment, but
Mm.
I guess it was the third round. Like Kabo's basically just like getting close to him. He's like dancing, and then he gets like chest to chest, and he like hits a move. And Kabe was like, "Holy fuck, this guy's huge! Like his stature is big. Like you could tell he's sweating. He's getting nervous." And the judge was like, he ran scripted dances to songs he knew
Mm-hmm.
versus like the MC who was just kind of going with the rhythm and the flow of it.
Yeah.
And he still made Kabe feel like he could lose. If there was another round, he felt like he was out of juice already, which was kind of true. So like it was kind of cool seeing like especially going back to Lori's point, like scripted versus like kind of off the cuff stuff, which I'm sure is like a huge element of dance and like battle and stuff. But that's what I mean. Like the writing was good. It wasn't super like linear or stereotypical. Like it was two good sides, and then like they run into each other at the bathroom, and the MC's like stuttering shit, but Kabe's like, yeah, like you did good, bro. Even though he's kind of like he's a hater. I'm not even gonna lie, but
Mm-hmm.
he still gives him props, which was cool. And I did think it was funny. Wanda like did not get like the not that there was like super disrespectful shit going on,
But she
but
was still
yeah, they were.
right. She was still right. Like he was like respectful of him. Like he was like he looked up to him. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like she was wrong. She just didn't see like the also the shit talking that was involved.
Yeah, yeah, I did think that was funny because it just
Mm-hmm.
kind of speaks to like Wanda's like kind of like sweet and like almost innocent personality.
Yeah, like dude, it was honestly so good because it's cool too because like how do you judge it, right? Do you judge it off of technique, right? Do you judge it off of style? Because he even said he's like when it comes down to it, it's like what's cool, like what looks cool, like that's a huge part of it being judged. You know what I mean? And like there's a lot of different things to base it off of. Like one thing is that like Cabo's not moving on, right? He's not going to the finale. But he for sure did not lose. You know that was a key thing. Where it's like if there was another round, he moves on because he absolutely crushed Kabe's spirit. Like he was defeated. He was gone. He even was surprised when they voted for him. He was like, "Wait, I won that." You know what I mean? Because Kabu put on such a performance. He was so good. Like especially for his like level of experience. Like, bro, he won the whole
Mhm.
thing. Like, that was absolutely incredible. He also learned and grew from the whole thing. It was insane. Like that was huge for him. That was awesome, and it really kind of shows like his growth from like when he first started. I thought it was incredible that whole part. But yeah, moving forward, it's gonna be really, really cool. It's also funny as fuck when Lori had like those like candies, and he's like, I'll go in for the both, just like shoves it in Cabo's mouth. And he's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? It also shows like I love how Lori's like warming up to us. You know what I mean? I love how we're seeing more of him. Like, dude's like funny as fuck. Like when we first like met him, he was like the intimidating dude who's like really quiet, just kind of listen to music, and like we're just seeing more of him, like a different side to him. Where I'm like, dude, I absolutely love Lori. Like he's like one of the best characters. He's probably like my favorite. So like I cannot wait to see. Hopefully, the start of season 2 with him battling, what is it, Kabe, but the other kid, and hopefully pulling out the dub. So there's beef between them. So that is going to be an awesome battle.
Yeah, like I really hope we get a season two. I think we will. I hope it was like popular enough for it. But that was my only complaint. I was really trying to see that like championship battle, or I guess it's the semifinal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Lori and the dude he has beef with, it was like, yo, this would be sick. Like, again, it's like a good kind of like tease or cliffhanger to go out of season one with. But I was like, all right, shit. Like, I really wanted to see that. So whenever we get that season two announcement, I'll definitely be there. I think it's important to like kind of invest into these shows too, because like I'm sure the budget wasn't all that high, but like if you get enough viewership and people enjoy it, like they'll make more music or dance based animes. And yeah, instead of just like one season or whatever, 12 episodes, like they'll get multiple. So I definitely hope that's the case for Wandance.
I don't know if it is just because it's a Hulu exclusive. I know a bunch of Hulu exclusives that are genuine bangers, like really good. Like the production was there, the somewhat popularity was there, but we're not seeing like we're getting new seasons, but they're just taking years. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah,
if you have a Hulu exclusive that like isn't like top notch, I just don't know if it's going to get something new. And if it does, we're talking like 3 or 4 years, maybe even 5 years. You know what I mean? And by that point, everyone forgot about it. That's like the only shitty
right.
part because I'm an avid fan of Hulu exclusives. I fuck that shit up. I made a video talking about a bunch of bangers that are on Hulu, um, but sadly that's just kind of the way it goes. So I'm not sure how it'll be, especially because you would need like a good budget for it. But season 1 was definitely a treat, and it definitely is like a great introduction to be like, hey, I now know about it. Let's go read the manga, and especially because the manga benefits the person who created it more than the fucking anime. You know what I mean?
Very true. That's a very good point. And like, dude, like 8 out of 10 animes I watch, I'm like, all right, season one's done. Let's go read 400 chapters
Oh
of
bullshit,
everything in existence.
bro! You're acting like you wait for the season to be over.
Yeah, I don't even wait. Yeah. Like, oh, that pilot was good. Let's read the whole thing.
You're like mid episode, just being like, all right, what chapter?
You
Yo,
go to right to Reddit, it's like, where does the anime leave off?
dude, like that's literally what I did with Guy Jacket. So I can't even like talk shit right now. I did the same thing. It's worth, bro. It's worth. Like the manga does hit. I'm not gonna lie. All right, but yo, let's get into my status as an assassin. Obviously, exceeds the heroes. We have two different takes on this. You were saying how you like this episode, and I don't want to like completely shit on someone's like favorite anime here. I don't think isekai is necessarily like my favorite genre. You know what I mean? There's definitely some isekais that I absolutely love, but especially like this
Mhm.
type, it's just not really my thing. So I don't want to be like too hard on it. But definitely like a rough episode in my opinion. Like a rough episode. So what did you think of it, and what did you like about it? Because I definitely got like a different take on it.
So like from the beginning, I feel like we were pretty into it the first like three, four,
Mm-hmm.
5, 6 episodes. And I felt like it really lost steam. Like they were building the party good, like they were moving pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had reintroduced like the heroes party that they kind of, like the main cast they got sent isekai with to this
Yeah.
world. But it kind of like left or it like dragged a little bit. Like we get the assassins party and then, he's kind of got like his own plot line, if you will, versus like the heroes party and like the main overarching story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's not bad. I thought they were like picking up characters pretty well. Like the party was growing pretty legit, but it really lost steam for me when Crow gives Akira the like bounty. First off, bro, you're a fucking assassin. He's had no problems like fighting people and like getting into the mix. I'll just say like the first 8 episodes. He's getting his powers up and everything, but the minute he has to kill, like he gets like a hit, you know what I mean? Like an assassin would.
Yeah.
The guy is an absolute piece of shit, and he's literally trying to capture Amelia, the woman you claim to love and have like married and all that.
Mm-hmm.
My man, just do what you got to do. So like the end really lost like all that momentum for me because it's like 3 episodes, like 10, 11, and 12, or 11, 12, and 13. I can't quite remember, but
10, 11, 12.
yeah, he has like this fucking inner dialogue and like this stress and angst, and You know, I've never killed anybody. Hopefully it stays that way. But like, I'm also not an assassin in another
Yeah.
world.
Hmm.
Then he keeps like thinking of his fucking mom and daughter. It's like, bro, Graham would kill you and you'll never get to see them again. Like, so this whole like moral dilemma, I think kind of wore me out after a while. Like, sure, an episode of you being like, oh, should I fucking kill this guy? Like, sure, that's worth it. But they drug it out a little too much. But what I liked about this episode was they finally do get to a point. They totally like set it up like he couldn't kill him. He's like, oh, I was shaking, like it was so hard. And they don't show you the scene or like give you the blood sound effect that he kills Graham. He does admit to it, so it's like, all right, thank you for finally going through with it, even though you drugged me for 3 episodes and were kind of a pussy about it.
Yeah.
He does do it, so it was like, all right. I feel like there is some potential left, but
Hmm.
like, yeah, like I don't want to trash it because it was enjoyable for a while, but I feel like the end just kind of burned me out with that whole like moral issue the MC was having.
Gotcha. Okay, I think one, it was his sister. Bro is in high school. I'm not sure he has a daughter.
Oh, no, yeah, it was his sister. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, he's trying to get home
Pause.
to his sister. My problem with it and why I really, really like hated this episode, to be honest, is because here's the thing we have here, right? It starts off. He's at with the guild, right? He's there. Bro shows up. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna take your girl," and then they start fighting. I'm like, "All right, yo, bet solid start to the episode, right?" Especially because it's like we know your abilities and we have counters to it. I'm like, "Oh, finally, like a good tough fight. Like this is all right. Let's go. Like good season finale
Yeah,
start here. Like all right, I'm down with it." The second the fight starts, it ends. I'm like, "What do you?" What we're not gonna further go into this fight. Like, okay, the demon girl grabs them and they fly away like it's fucking Peter Pan.
yo,
And no bullshit, it starts having a montage throughout the entire season, like looking back at the season. I dead ass, no bullshit. I was watching on my PC. I hover over it to see, I'm like, is this the end of the episode? Like, am I
yeah,
having like a fever dream right now? Like, what is going on? It makes no sense. Like the second it got good, like in the like very like first 2 or 3 minutes, it ends and you have this fucking weird ass shit going on. I'm like, bro, like I genuinely thought it's the end of the episode. It made no sense that you're having like a look back of like the good times of the season in the fucking beginning of the finale. But sure, whatever. It then cuts to him. Well, it cuts back to episode one. In episode one, we had the cinematic, that scene where it's like, okay, he fights the assassin on the rooftop. He goes over to the guy and he's like, all right, I'm gonna kill him, right? And you have the thunder cracking, and then it cuts. You just played what we got in episode one. You didn't further add any scenes whatsoever fucking ever.
true
That
that.
is so dumb and so lazy, in my opinion. So we have the good fight that gets cut instantly to the fucking weird ass Peter Pan moment to then, okay, you're gonna play the same scene that you did in episode one. All right, and then it ends with him being like, "Yeah, I killed him. I did it. I don't know why he didn't show it." And then everyone, it's like the world had the epiphany. It spread throughout the land. Like, oh my god, I think something happened to him. Like he has changed. Like there's something that changed a lot in him. And I'm like, bro, this is so fucking like it was so jumpy. Like there was no fluidity to this
Yeah,
episode at all. And there wasn't one cool or good thing that happened in this episode. It was either like the only good thing that would have been like cool to have was like the fight in the beginning, but like again, it was ended immediately, and we got like nothing new. Like I just think it was the most rushed, shittily put together episode that we've like gotten. Like it was just such a mess. And it's just like I feel like it would have been a great like I think the anime has potential, which is why like it kills me so much. Because it's like if you
mhm,
let the fight breathe in the beginning of the episode and actually like drew it out, I think that would have been really cool. I think that would have been pretty awesome. You have them escape or the fight gets broken up, but then if you added more to that, like I don't know why you played that. I feel like it would have been better if you showed us like, hey, remember this from the beginning of the first episode, and then cut. You know what I mean? I don't know why they showed exactly frame for frame the second like the scene we got in the beginning because like it was like 3 or 4 minutes. You know what I mean? Like it was like a long kind of fight. Like the highlight was the fight with against the other assassin, and then you don't add anything to it. It was just like you just literally cut it and pasted it. You know what I mean? Like showing the actual killing or showing more like of a fight, either to get out or something would have been better. And then it was like this weird moment at the end where like he admits to it. She's like, "That's okay. I'll stay with you." Even though for the second half of the season she was like, "Oh my god, I cannot have him change. Like it would change him if he ends up killing somebody. I can't do it. I have to stop him at all costs." To then be like, "Okay, you did it. That's fine. I still love you." It's like, all right. And then
and she knew he was going out by himself the whole
yeah,
time. Like
yeah,
there was no secrets about it.
yeah. Like even if he like didn't kill him or something, like her like being there and kind of like trying to stop him would have been cool too. But then the world has this awakening, right? Where it's like, oh my god, I can feel it in the air. The spirits are telling me Graham's dead. Like I think our MC something changed in him. We should ask him about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't think he's dying, but something definitely changed. And it's like, bro, like this is a fucking mess. Like this is the most like you know what it's crazy. You know what this anime reminds me of? T-Bait, right? TV got shit because the animation's atrocious. You know what I mean? There's just no budget for the animation. It's just garbage, right? Great story. Well, they changed the story, so it's not as good as the manhwa. But like they took all the money out of the animation. I feel like this anime put all of the money into the animation. They made the animation and the art really good and really cool, but because of that, they had no time to actually like, animate the fucking thing. You know what I mean? And they just cut out just massive chunks of this anime, and that's why the anime feels either so blocky, the way it just has these sharp cuts from like moment to moment, and also why you didn't like add anything. Like it was just a mess. It just felt so rushed. It felt like they had no time to actually like animate the material.
Nah, you're exactly right. I think that breakdown is very fair. And even though I guess I'd say overall I enjoyed it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like it feels like really rushing. You didn't add anything. You basically just gave us like a 4 minute
Yeah.
rerun of the very first episode to try and bring it full circle, but like that didn't really work per se.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mess, and I literally had the same reaction as you. Like they cut to this like Peter Pan moment with Lattice Nail like
So weird.
rescuing them after literally an intense fight. It was like, hey, what the fuck is that? What are we doing right now? It definitely felt out of place and kind of forced. I think it was like overall pretty popular this season, but
Very popular.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely tough. I think they kind of like saved the overarching story for me because if he wouldn't have killed Graham, I would have been like, all right, fuck the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, really rough kind of like exit to the season,
Dude, it
to put
was
it lightly.
it was the also the little montage of like looking back on the season that fucking sent me like boys we still have 20 more minutes in this episode like,
Yeah.
we haven't even done the opening yet like what's going on here.
Yeah, we didn't even get the fucking intro yet. They're like recapping, like I know this is the finale, but damn.
Like dude it was so funny and yeah this actually was really popular so it was rated 4.6 which isn't like the best rating but it's still like good with 51K reviews which is actually like really popular. I think that they were smart because if you're going to not have the budget or time for an anime, which is what I'm assuming, which could be like a dick thing for me to assume, right? It could just be like, oh, they put their heart and soul into it, and I'm just like, yeah, no, that's definitely something went wrong.
Not the case.
um, they chose the animation over anything else because I honestly think, and this again could just be like a bad take, I think that the majority of the popularity this anime gets is the Gooners over Amelia. Because if I see anybody talking about this anime in any way, shape, or form, it's just, oh my god, Amelia's the best. Like, she's waifu of the year. And I'm like, boys, like, can we, like, post a fight scene? Can we talk about, like, the MC or, like, anything else? And there's
Yeah.
no substance to anything else. It's just everyone freaking out over Amelia. And I'm like, is that why we're watching the anime, boys? Like, is that... Because, like, all right, but, like, it was just a mess. And I think that that's why it has the popularity as Amelia, to be honest. Because I talked about the last episode being blocky. I also said at the beginning of the season where it felt extremely rushed from the second that they get isekai in to everything. It just felt really fast paced and there was no fluidity. So honestly, I'm probably not gonna watch season two if they drop one. I think that they will because of the popularity. It was way more popular than I think it should have been. I know I'm kind of being a hater, but like I don't know, bro.
Nah, your breakdown is very fair though. Like just like trying to be subjective about it. There was a lot, yeah, that was like rushed or like not
Yeah.
really that well fleshed out. Like you said, like they could have
Mm-hmm.
really given it 100%, but I think you could have done more with it. Given the popularity, I probably expected to get a season two. I could probably be convinced to watch it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to, especially with how packed 2026 is early in the year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't think there's any reason to like keep an eye out for it, but yeah, like a lot of potential, but a very mid exit, very mid ending to the season for
And
me.
like to me, like this could be like the same thing with like Wandance, where it's like, hey yo, like is the manga like better paced? Because like the thing where I got like
Yeah, true.
the reason why I watched it right, and I like watched it to the end, is because it had so much potential. I do think the MC is sick. I think that the party he's building is cool. I kind of like how like it took the beginning of like a very like typical isekai trope where it's like, oh, the class gets, isekai'd in and shit like that. And he kind of went on his own little side path, you know what I mean? It kind of was like, let's
Yeah,
take that start, but let's have a different journey. I thought that was cool, and it just like was just not executed the way I wanted it to be executed. Which is why I'm like, all right, I gave you your shot, but like not, especially because yo, in 2026, like in isekai, in my opinion, that's like really fucking good. That like has my fucking heart and soul, locked up is the wrong way to use healing magic. Like to me, that's an isekai that like I wanted this assassin one to kind of be like. The animation and art was so good. It was so fluid. It was paced beautifully. The fight scenes were great. The interactions with the characters were amazing, and it was so fucking funny. And of course, I'm biased. I have my goat Alejandro Saab fucking as a VA of the MC.
Hell
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So like I'm biased, but I was watching Haikyuu again this weekend because like I told like boys I've been binging some anime again since we had some like free time, and I'm like, yo, did I watch season 4? I'm like, I think so, but let's rewatch it because I haven't seen the new movie, so I was gonna like refresh up that. I'm like, I heard the one voice. I'm like, is that Alejandro Saab as like a random fucking background character with like 4 lines? I looked it up and it was like, I'll pick that guy out of any fucking anime. I know his
Love
voice like
that.
that. But yo, seriously, guys, like this anime is really good. Season 2 is coming in 2026. I'm just saying, 4.8, 111K reviews. So obviously, it's a banger. But like that's kind of like that's like the problem. That's like the level that I compare isekais to. And my status as an assassin obviously sees the heroes just did not live up to that in my opinion. Like it just it had potential, but it didn't have the execution that I think we're all hoping it delivered on. Because the animation and the art are crisp. Like it does look like it would be an absolute banger, but yeah, the pacing is something.
Yeah, and I think just compared to, like, may I ask one final thing? I enjoyed that more. I think that was
Yeah.
more well executed. But yeah, like once you kind of step back and think like, all right, well, where did it miss for me? There's other stuff I think I would recommend, definitely would,
Mm-hmm.
before, trying to get a season 2 of Assassin.
I think that they will get it though. Like 50K reviews is a fucking decent amount. Like that's
And
impressive.
it was on like the trending page for Crunchyroll, literally the whole season, like
Yeah.
towards the back end of it, which I mean, that's still pretty impressive. If it's trending every week, it's definitely popular enough.
Yeah, I mean, dude, yo, like, and the thing is, like, isekai fans, like, they are passionate, you know what I mean? Which is why I'm like, hey, I'm sorry to, like, kind of, like, badmouth a little bit, because I know I'm going to get some heat for it. Because, like, isekai fans, like, they're dedicated, bro. They are, like, shonen fans, like, they're dedicated. That is a good thing. 2026 looks like an isekai's, like, wet dream. Like, it's insane. You have, uh, what's it called, Reincarnate as a Slime, that's literally just dropping, like, 50 eps next year. Like, Jobless Reincarnation's coming back. There's ReZero. Oh my god, ReZero. Like there's just so many that are just absolutely incredible that are making a return, and it's gonna be insane. But I feel like when it comes to isekais, the past 2 seasons, I think fall and summer, there just wasn't really anything there. So who knows if that's the case too, where it was just popular because it was like it's the best isekai that we've had in a while.
True that. Yeah, it really wasn't at like the forefront of like what was coming out or like any like major titles, but
Mm-hmm.
and like 2026 will be tough, especially early on because you have so many big names. I feel like it'll be, just kind of what everybody's watching and talking about, which I'll be there too, but that is a good point. Maybe it was just kind of like the best thing we've got recently, and that's why it was as popular as it was. And I think to your point, like, Amelia being like not necessarily like a fan service thing, but yeah, I can
Kind of, yeah.
I can attribute some of the popularity to that.
Dude, I saw like a lot of stuff of people like talking about. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, it's got some traction. Like, it's popular. It was just all Amelia. I'm like, boys, like, what are we like? Come on,
Yeah.
like, just does not care about plot at all. But yo, that is the thing. Like, I was just on Crunchyroll like looking up like some like the numbers. Like Crunchyroll, they're like talking about some like trending stuff. JJK, the Shibuya incident. Freeren's been on there. Like, dude, this weekend's gonna be fucking awesome. I think sadly JJK doesn't come out until the 9th. So
Yeah, I think it's a
we got
little later.
time, but yo, like it just kind of gets you excited looking at the Crunchyroll trending page because you see what's about to come. People are like rewatching the last season, getting some refreshers in, and it's like, yo, 2026 is gonna be fucking legendary. It's gonna be so good. I cannot wait.
Dude, I know. I'm super excited and trying to get I want to watch Soul Eater before we get into the mix of 2026, but it'll be sick, dude. I'm super excited. Like we've said this before, but there's like literally something for everybody. Whatever genre or type of anime you're into, it'll be top tier.
Dude, I'm telling you, like Soul Eater's like what 50 some episodes, 40 some episodes. You're gonna watch it really quick. If you haven't seen Soul Eater, guys, watch Soul Eater. It is fucking awesome. That's another anime though that it like went away from the manga, so people are pissed about it. It's getting reanimated. Yo, okay, last little bit of
Mm.
tea before we kind of exit out here. Did you hear that like the One Piece remake? The asked Luffy's VA. Well, Luffy's VA was like, "Hey guys, I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm like 70 years old. Like, I'm not gonna be a part of the remake." And they're like, you are." Like the fact that you think you have a
Sure.
choice is adorable. Like I'm like, bro, that's fucked. Like low key, like she's literally 70. She's been voicing Luffy for 30 fucking years, and it's like, hey guys, I appreciate you guys are remaking it, so it's better paced, but I don't want to be a part of that. And they're like, you don't have a choice. That is insane.
Yeah, and like you got to think there's still like years of fucking One Piece left. Like
Yeah.
there's still a lot to come forward. I don't think people would freak out if you like were like, oh, we got a different VA for like the remake, because you could just still watch the original source material if that was an aspect that mattered to you that much. And yeah, given her age, like let's save her for the important shit that matters. Especially because we just lost Frankie's VA, like that kind of generation, like late '90s, early 2000s, like they're getting older. You know what I mean? So hopefully they kind of like look after her, because I was a little disappointed to hear that. Like I get, his iconic voice, but
Mm-hmm.
in the same way, I'd rather have that for, the final saga of One Piece rather than a remake.
And like low key, if you're gonna make a remake, like that's the opportunity to use a different VA because it wouldn't be changed like midway through or something. Like you have a clean slate here, like a fresh
Yeah,
start. You can put in somebody who like sounds similar, and it wouldn't be weird because like if they force her to start right, and then she gets to the point where she's like, bro, like I'm like 75, I'm 80 at this point, like fuck this shit, like I'm not doing it. Or if like a health concern happens, because that's like one thing like in anime and like in manga and shit, like health is always becoming a problem. Where like authors and VAs are kind of like, hey, like I can't do this right now. You know what I mean? It takes a toll on people. It's just like you're gonna then put in someone new, and it's gonna sound weird, and people are gonna be pissed off. Like she's put in her time. We appreciate everything she's done. She's the fucking goat. Let's
hell
let's
yeah.
let's let's fucking not like force her to put in another 30 years, especially when she's 70.
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully they do right by her, but I think you make a good point too. A remake would be a good chance for someone in a low stress, low pressure kind of situation to warm you up to the idea of maybe a new voice actor, given what could happen.
Yeah, and like the problem is too is that like she's the Japanese VA, so it's a bit different. But like the English VA for Luffy, there's like three different VAs. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I know that the Japanese VA is going to be like way more iconic, way more important to people. But like there is a lot of times where you have animes like this where like a character's going to have a couple of different VAs. And to be honest, as someone who watches the dub for One Piece, I know, don't fucking kill me. I know. I don't really notice it. You know what I mean? So I know it's different because it's the Japanese VA, and that's a huge difference. But like, who knows? You know what I mean?
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they kind of play it out. Like, I'm a huge fan of her, but I also would rather see her like enjoy the end of One Piece and maybe not have to be the VA if
Yeah.
like that, is the decision it has to come to. So hopefully they do right by her. And yeah, it's tough. We don't want to lose any more of the main cast. But like you said,
Mm-hmm.
after a while, people just get used to it anyway. You're not going to stop watching.
Exactly. Especially because people might be. It might bring new people in because it's paced better. It's not gonna be 1,000 episodes, so like I don't know if you're gonna have
Yeah,
too many
true.
people who are gonna be like rewatching One Piece like that, but you might just have newer people who wouldn't know. But anyways, it's been one hell of a ride. 2025 has been incredible. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry if the Assassin anime is one of your favorite, and I kind of just badmouthed it. Like I don't mean it like that. Like listen, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. Hopefully you guys get a season 2 if you're really looking forward to it. But that is it. I cannot wait for next week. We're gonna be talking about the winter season. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna be talking about Fake Strange because we fucking wanted to for the past goddamn year. So it's finally happening, guys. We can finally continue that conversation. But anyways, guys, that is it. Hope you guys have a happy New Year's because I forgot that that was a thing. I realized that this week. I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh well, you can tell I'm gonna be watching anime during that time. That's gonna be a good anime night. We're gonna finish season 4 of Haiku. It's gonna be great. But have a happy New Year's. Be safe, and that is it, guys. See you guys next week for the winter season. Later, guys. Peace.